So it's it is 10 p.m. I just got home from a 12-hour shift and I feel pretty disgusting, oily, and exhausted. But with that being said, I also have my tea and I have jazz playing softly in the background. The candles are on. When the trifecta comes into play, officially, the nighttime flow has begun. The reason why I am documenting my thoughts is because I felt drawn and inspired to look back and review the goals I had set for this year. Across many different platforms, my goals for the year have become a little bit scattered. I feel a little bit scrambled, like they're out of sync. Perhaps that's just a natural progression of a person expanding. I also just want to narrow it down, not because I'm putting myself in a box, but because I am someone who's used to getting a lot of things done at the same time. And this year, I can already tell, I can see this year has already been a lot slower. My body is starting to process that and feel it. My body's still learning to lay down her arms. Maybe that's the way to put it. When it comes to this perpetual sense of urgency, I'm always feeling like I have to get something done, or I have something to get done. In comparison to the last 27 years of my life, might look like I have done nothing this year. I am learning how to ground into that peacefully, lovingly, gracefully, and also celebrate that in and of itself. I'm learning how to cherish and not feel guilty about only having a few things to focus on at this moment in my life. For so long, I prayed about slowing down, being able to take a breath, just having a second. And now that it's here, I feel an immense amount of guilt, like I'm not doing it properly. I'm not doing it right. My hope is to surrender that. Again, I want to narrow down, not because I am limiting myself. Rather, I'm just treating myself as a human being. New concept unlocked. I am just treating myself like I would any other human being. I have this complex that everyone else around me is allowed to do it, except for me. Everyone else has permission, except you. You have to do better, you have to know better. And it's not even motivated from a sense of raw competition that I have to come out the best, I have to come out number one. It's this sense of being an older sibling that has created or formed this complex within me that I'm like, well, I'm the older sibling. I should know how to get through this. I should have figured this out before. I should have known already how to handle this. I feel like everything I check off, accomplish, create, it's like another thing that was already expected of me or that I was obligated to do, so it's not worth celebrating. What is that? What is that? What is that? I remember sitting on a bench overlooking a beautiful river valley and just crying to my best friend, lamenting how sick and tired of hating myself, disliking myself. And I remember just pleading to both myself and the universe, like, please, I just want to like myself. I just want to see everything that I do, everything that I touch, everything that I breathe life into as a big deal and celebrate it, be grateful for it. That's probably where it starts, gratitude. Okay. I will finish my tea, probably heat it up, and get ready for bed, and I will see you tomorrow. My intention was to upload something every 7 days, and clearly time has gotten away from me because it's not even June anymore, and this is supposed to be part of my June edit. It is what it is. We're gonna keep going with the flow. I was planning to sit down and talk at some point before I left for a family trip, but I couldn't fit it in, and that's okay. Things change and we're here now. So I decided to make consecutive therapy appointments because if I'm gonna be honest, I opened this can of worms that was really essential to my growth as well as my art. And then as soon as that can of worms burst with a lot of worms, I avoided it. I was very inconsistent with my appointments. I would actually feel so anxious that I felt sick, so I had to reschedule, and then I never ended up rescheduling. I am locking in. It is July now. The reason why I am locking in is because I owe it to myself. I owe it to myself to try to sit down and face the things that are necessary for me to face. Either I avoid it and I prolong the tension, the agony, maybe the discomfort, whatever feelings it brings up, I'm just gonna prolong it. I would just rather not necessarily get it over with. I would instead just opt to just get started, because it's not gonna budge, it's not gonna move anywhere. The can of worms is still open. It's not like me avoiding it is going to close it back up. It's just there staring at me. So essentially it's just time to take a seat. I'm sat, and sitting still in every sense of the word, whether it's physically or like emotionally or mentally. It's a bit challenging because I always have this sense of urgency, and because I want to make art, it's not like I can run away from those things. I am just trying to make art so that I can process things and express them and transfigure my experiences. I feel tempted to restart this video and polish it for a second take, but editing is polishing enough. These are my raw thoughts at the moment, and I shouldn't run away from them. I should face them and refine them, and then next time we can try again. This is a glimpse as to what I'm like, and this is also my Mars and Virgo, where I will not publish anything unless it's like refined. Like I have to refine it before anybody else knows, which defeats the purpose of making mistakes and getting into the habit of being able to practice and being awful at something, or just not being the best take. My friend told me that maybe I just need to experiment making more mistakes. Before I left on my trip, I got the chance to spend some time with some friends. We did some study sessions together. I actually got quite a bit done because I wasn't pushing myself in a mean way. Another concept unlocked. These are things I would tell somebody else. These are things I would tell my friends. And like I mentioned before, everyone else is allowed to have this bit of grace. Everyone else is allowed to have this buffer except for me, because I need to have everything in order, everything perfect, everything refined. I at least have some time before I have my therapy sessions, because I don't get to see her for another 2 weeks. So I'll get to practice on my own a little bit and then get back into the work. I have art experiments I want to try. Because of those gaps, I tend to forget what I was working on, which is effective for the part of me that's trying to avoid it. All right, my intention before my first of 3 consecutive therapy sessions is to try at least 3 of the material experiments and draw at least 3 things. Maybe that doesn't make very much sense, but it does make sense to me. You know what, that's pretty realistic, and I'm not going to be mean to myself about it. The goal is to show you all of those in my vlogs, so all right.